When we hear the name Franz Liszt, we normally think of virtuosic music and swooning ladies. But as all great composers, he has many sides to his artistic personality, and this piece shows one of them. It's from a set of 6 pieces that he called Consolations for their calm and comforting nature. There are 2 versions, and it's slightly complicated how they relate to each other. He only published the second version as catalogue number S172 in 1850. The first version was discovered as manuscripts written before and published only long after Liszt's death in 1992 with the catalogue number S171A. The other 5, except this one, are basically the same pieces in different versions. Liszt reworked them and made them simpler. And you get the feeling that it took away a lot of notes and only left the absolutely necessary ones. But number 3 in the earlier set did not make it to the second version. Instead, he used that material for the first Hungarian Rhapsody. So then he wrote one completely new piece to join the others as the published set of 6, and that's this famous number 3. As it happens, it's the one that fits best with the title, with its Lento placido, placidly calm. The other ones still have some more life to them, even in the second, simpler version. And there is something religious to this music, the way it has the purpose of comforting, as you would put your trust in a higher being and feel safe and secure from evil. Liszt himself retreated from the world stage and moved into a monastery outside of Rome in 1863, so this somehow feels like a precursor to that way of life. So the comforting comes from Liszt always returning to the tonic D-flat major with this lovely deep bass note. And only the chord notes, D-flat major, make it resonate so lovely. And have to mention here, there's a Chopin Nocturne in the same key, D-flat major opus 27 number 2, that's suspiciously alike in the beginning. It goes like this. So Chopin had passed away in 1849, just 1 year before Liszt wrote the Consolation, so maybe it's an homage to Chopin. I don't think it has to be, but it's a nice thought if it was. Anyway, back to Liszt. We set the scene with this, just the D-flat major. And then the melody enters on this chord. It's the half diminished G, half diminished, very ambiguous and kind of uncertain, but then immediately in the next bar, we get the resolution from half diminished to A flat 7, and the F is the 6, another suspension, resolving to back to D flat. So immediately we get a little bit of uncertainty and then the comforting. I have to mention this bass note thing. So you're supposed to like hold it in the pedal and then change with the half pedal. So keep this resonating. And I think change only when the left hand comes in. So the first beat here, even maybe the pedal marking says on the beat, but keep the sound here and then change on the G. Same. It can be quite hard to keep it in the half pedal, and if you have a grand piano and the middle pedal, the third pedal in the middle, you can use that to keep the D flat even more resonating. sparkling on top to end the phrase. Now we get the same melody a second time. But now we take another path from the half diminished. So we go to C7 to F minor. It's lovely how it can go both ways and sound so harmonious, this chord. They're magic half diminished chords. So now we're in F minor. It's very close in the tonality of D flat major. It's the third scale degree. Now the melody for the third time has some tension. Now it's a normal diminished, not half diminished. So now the melody is reaching higher and it's building some tension here that needs to be resolved. And luckily we get this chord. It's a D flat second inversion, A flat in the bass, so A flat 6/4 chord is clearly a cadential progression coming here. And the melody gets a bit excited to be having a cadence. And there it is. So here we have the same half diminished, but now over A flat. So this resolution is even more stable. So that's the first page and the first round of the melody. Now we get the same melody, but with an added octave. Same. F minor. So now we kind of get into the middle section, and there will be some harmonic adventures here. So we're in F minor, and in order to have proper comforting we need a little bit of pain, and that's what we get here. So we stay in F minor. This is C7 to F minor, and with an added octave or an octave higher up. Now, so it's going F minor, C7 the dominant, and then F major is the classic major switch that makes you feel so nice, because you think it's gonna be minor and then it's major. Dolcissimo. It's very, very sweet. But we cannot continue going here. This is A minor, it's close to F major. Just switch the F for an E. We have A minor second inversion. And E7 to A minor. Now we get the same thing, but from A minor. So major. And actually going back to D flat major with this amazing mechanism from A major to D flat major second inversion. It's with the bass note, because the bass notes are close together. And cadential, A flat 7, and D flat. And if we look here at the harmonic destinations that we pass through, we're coming from D flat major, then we go to F major, and go to A major, and then back to D flat. These are perfect medians, a third up, and it's perfectly symmetrical within the scale. And maybe there's something to be said about this symmetrical perfection of romantic tonality or of the world. And here is just to detail this motion. In the beginning we have F on top. Now it's expanded a little bit. It's a little bit wider with the A flat. So this is the same melody, but now it's in the low register and it's kind of halted. And I think this is like a human reflection. We've kind of been up in heaven before, but now it's a little bit more down to earth. But it's back up straight away. This is a new surprise. C flat is the 7, D flat 7. That means we're going into G flat territory. That's a 4 chord in D flat, and it's a typical sign that we're in the coda, approaching the end, resting on the 4 chord with D flat in the bass. Final switch here to A major. This is the same mediant that we had in the middle. And it's like Liszt can't help himself here. We have to have a small cadenza to go up with a little bit of faster note, but it's very restrained still for being Liszt compared to like the Liebestraum number 3. Otherwise also a very lovely calm piece, but there it's about love and it's much more passionate and with big cadenzas. Here it's only a small cadenza. And of course from A major back to D flat major. And this is, we're at the end. We're up in heaven, but for the final bars we come down to earth, and I think it's a nice connection of the two realms. And slowing down. It's really a lovely piece of music. And it's not too hard, as long as you can get the left hand to be as comfortable as the musical character prescribes. Thanks for watching Sonata Secrets, and the Patreon shoutout in this episode goes to F. Lemaitre and J. Brady.